Welcome back to Apathetic Reviews. Oh, he surely doesn't care, does he?
This video is rated mature and also spoilers for the movie. Hey everybody, welcome back to Apathetic Reviews, the show where I can have like a really bad throat, but I can still watch a Pixar movie and laugh my ass off. That's right, I went to watch Pixar's Hoppers. Now, something you gotta know about me is that I love We Bare Bears. We Bare Bears is hilarious and amazing and chill and makes me feel very cozy and happy. So when I heard that Daniel Chong, the creator of We Bare Bears, was gonna make a Pixar movie, I was super duper duper hyped. I think I have been one of the most hyped people for this movie. I've been the most excited, and I'm glad that this movie seems to be doing very well for itself, and a lot of other people are finding out that it's really good because the movie is really good. It is so fun. It might be one of my new favorite Pixar movies, in fact. So yeah, the movie is super duper funny. Um, it feels like one of the first, like, Pixar comedies. Now, I know that there's a lot of Pixar movies that are comedies and have, like, comedic moments and comedy in them, and in fact, like, Toy Story 2, I would classify as a comedy movie kind of first a little bit because it feels like it centers on comedy a lot more. But, Hoppers feels like it was written to be a comedy first and then, like, a dramatic movie second. Not to say that it's not dramatic and not heartfelt, because it definitely is, and I was a little teary-eyed at a lot of moments. But, this movie it centers a lot on comedy and has a lot of very funny moments. It's one of those movies where it tells like a million jokes per minute, and even if you don't really love one of the jokes, there's still like 1,000 more coming your way that you'll probably will like. So it's pretty funny. It's a pretty funny movie. It's batshit crazy. Like the first half of the movie is pretty normal and pretty fine and pretty cute and whatever. And then you hit a moment where everything just goes off the fucking rails, and you know the moment when you watch the movie. Well, I guess I could spoil it now. But when they kill off the Meryl Streep butterfly, when they kill off the Meryl Streep butterfly, that's when the movie starts to go crazy and starts to get into like, oh my god, it's crazy. The second half of this movie is fantastic. It's amazing. I love it. I love it so much. I'm surprised they kill off Meryl Streep so early because why would you do that? Why would you get Meryl fucking Streep of all people to voice something? To voice a character and then kill her off almost immediately. I don't know. I just find that really funny that they did that. Anyway, so yeah, the movie is very crazy, very silly in the second half, but it still does have a lot of emotion in it. I like the choice of I love Bobby Moynihan's character. I love George so much. He's like perfect and he's one of my favorite characters ever. I love his endless positivity. I love everything about him. He's so amazing and I love him. I love him so much. I love Bobby Moynihan. He's such a funny guy. Um, and I really love how, in the last like act of the movie, the last part of the movie, it's mostly silence. It is like because the animals when you're not in the hopper technology, the animals, uh, you can't hear them talking. You can't hear what they're saying. So in the last like act of the movie, they're out of the hoppers technology, so you can't hear what any of the animals are saying. But like it's still so cool. I love wordless storytelling. We don't need to because there's a lie reveal kind of, but it's not like super overblown. It is a silent moment that makes sense within the confines of the movie, makes sense for the characters involved. It's so cool. I love it so much. I love it. I love it all. I love the animation. The animation is so expressive. Of course, it looks like We Bare Bears, but I don't mind that in the slightest. I love it. I love We Bare Bears. So I love this animation style so much. It is so expressive and so cute and it's just so wonderful. I love just like nature. That's funny to say, but I love how this film's like animation style, like, it's expressive and cartoony and all, but also it does look so incredibly beautiful when it wants to focus on nature, which it does quite a bit. There's a couple of silent moments where you're just looking at landscapes and whatever. It's so pretty and beautiful and lovely. I love it so much. It's so cool. It is so incredibly cool. My only criticisms with the film are that there's a couple of like supporting characters like Loaf the Beaver, Ellen the Bear, and Tom the Lizard, who are kind of fun characters and they have great designs, but they're only used in the first half of the movie, and then they're like barely used in the third act for as much as they're like, marketed as like the main characters of the movie. They're not used that much in like the final act. It's mostly George and Mabel doing stuff, which I'm fine with. Like George and Mabel are such compelling characters. But I would have loved to see more of the Lizard Tom or Ellen the Bear or Loaf the Beaver. Like I would have loved to see those guys more. So it's a shame that we don't get to see them all that often in the movie. And then another criticism I have is that, you know, I love Jerry as a character. I think Jerry as a character is fantastic, and John Hamm does a fantastic job. I would have liked to see a little bit more character growth from him, just a tiny bit. I feel like there was a moment in the film, I can't remember because I saw this last night. I can't remember when it is, but there was a moment where I'm like, he kind of jumps to kind of this conclusion kind of quickly. It's not the ending, because I think the ending of his character arc is actually very, very good and very cool, and very, very nice. But there's a moment where he makes a decision where I'm like, hey, I think you shouldn't jump to that conclusion just yet. I can't remember. I'm trying to remember, but I remember distinctly feeling that in the theater. Another criticism I have, other than the fact that I just wish it was longer so that we could have spent more time with the characters in the world and the comedy and whatever, is that I kind of like. Look, I love my nana. I love stories about grandmothers and how grandmas are awesome and like sweet, and loving your grandma is dope and cool and whatever. Because I agree, but also like there's a couple moments in the film where it flashes back to Mabel spending time with her grandma, and it's sweet and all, but after a while it starts to be like, okay, so this is not an appropriate moment to have a super serious flashback moment for your grandma. I don't feel like that was properly placed. So there's a few times where that happened. But overall, this film is quite amazing. I completely recommend it. It's one of my new favorite Pixar movies. It's so funny, it's so heartfelt, it's so sweet, it's so just amazing. I was having such a fun time. I went to see this movie by myself, which is not something I ever really do, but I wanted to see this more than any of my friends, so I went by myself. Um, and in the theater, I was very worried because there's a lot of people in the theater, like kids and a bunch of college students, and they were talking, and for the first like minute of the film, they were like loudly talking and making lots of noises, and I was very worried. I was like, "Oh God, is this gonna be my theater experience?" And then there's the moment where she talks with her grandma, and they're looking at nature and shit, and then the whole theater went silent. And for the rest of the movie, the theater was silent, or they were laughing at the parts they were supposed to be laughing at. They were cheering for all the character moments. The audience was so invested in the characters and the story that they started clapping when the film ended. That and I've only seen that I think once or twice. No, three times. I saw it for Endgame, I saw it for No Way Home, and I saw it for the first Wicked movie. Like that's the only time I've ever seen an audience clap for something at the end of the movie. So I could tell that the audience was very, very invested in the story and the characters and the world. So that must be a very, very like, I feel like that should be a sign that this movie is like fantastic and you should watch it now. I know I just spoiled a couple things for you, but it is fantastic. It's so funny. I completely recommend it. Please watch it. It's in theaters right now. Please watch it. Please watch Hoppers so much. All right. That's all I got for you. So, goodbye. I'm gonna rest my throat now. Bye bye.